Hello friends, welcome back once again to Subanjit's live video classes. I am Ditishri, back with a new topic for you all. The topic of discussion today will be jumbled paragraph. So before moving on to the discussion of jumbled paragraph, I'd like to request you all to please do like our videos and appreciate our work, and also subscribe our channel. The discussion box is also there to help you out, and if you have any discussions, queries or comments, please do jot it down in the discussion box. Okay friends, we'll start with the topic of jumbled paragraph. So what is actually a jumbled paragraph? So jumbled paragraphs are basically arrangement of sentences in a sequence in order to form a meaningful paragraph. Okay, the sentences will be arranged in a jumbled manner, and we have to arrange them properly in a proper sequence. Okay, not only sequence, you also have to maintain the meaning of the paragraph, which is very much important. Now next is, it is used to check compositional and organizational ability. Okay, it checks these two these two qualities in a candidate, and it also helps in the trying of understanding English. So basically, jumbled paragraph is an arrangement of sentences in a sequence to form a meaningful paragraph with the compositional and organization ability of a student. Next is, what are the types of jumbled paragraph? Okay, there are generally two types of jumbled paragraph. The first one is, you will be given 5 or 6 sentences, but maximum it is generally it is asked 5 sentences only. So 5 sentences will be given, and there will be no arrangement at all. All the 5 sentences will be in a jumbled manner. So you have to arrange the sentences in a proper sequence so that the finally arranged paragraph comes out to you in a meaningful way. Okay, the most logical order of the sentences must be selected to form the paragraph. The next type is, you will be given the first and the last sentence will be arranged for you all. Okay, and the other sentences which are between the first and the last sentence will be in a jumbled manner. So we have to arrange the sentences which are in the middle of the first and last statement. The middle statements must be selected in the most meaningful manner so that the final paragraph which you get comes out in the most sequential and logical manner. Okay? Generally, the first sentence will be marked as sentence 1 or S1, and the last will be marked as S6 or sentence 6. If you have 6 sentences, right? If you have 5 sentences, then it will be S1 and S5. So the first and the last statement will be given to you, and the other statements you have to arranged. Okay? Next, we have to follow some basic steps while we try to solve a jumbled paragraph. Okay, make frames and give a reading. It's the first step. So what is now a frame? Suppose you are given 5 sentences like A, B, C, D, E. Okay, they are the 5 sentences, and you have to make frames and give it a reading. So when you read the sentences, you find that there is a connection. Okay, whenever you find such a kind of connection, immediately write the sequence or the flow of statements. Okay, as it is shown here. See, if the frame is A, B, C, D, E, flow of statements or conjugate sentences means one after the other. Sometimes while reading some sentences, we can make out that this sentence will come after that. So such sentences are known as conjugate sentences. Whenever you get such a sequence, just immediately write it. Suppose in this frame, I find that CAD is the flow of sentences. So in this manner, we can try, to find out the sentences. Then after making the frames, the important thing is give it a reading. Next is try to find the first sentence if not arranged. So if you have a paragraph where all the statements are jumbled up, so you have to firstly try to find out the first sentence. Okay, because after finding the first sentence, you can proceed in the arrangement of the other sentences of the paragraph. There is a hint in how you can select the first sentence. Okay, never select a sentence starting with a conjunction or pronoun as the first sentence, as we all know that in the starting we cannot use a conjunction or a pronoun, right? Conjunction are what? They are joining words which helps to join sentences. So at the beginning of a paragraph, the first sentence can never join another sentence. So you can see that if a sentence is starting with a conjunction or pronoun, then definitely that cannot be the first sentence. So just strike it off, and it will be for later purposes. So this is an important hint where you can try in finding out the first sentence of a jumbled paragraph. Okay, the next step is a confused state. Okay, still you are in a confused state, which sentence could be the first one? Okay, in that situation, you just think about the writer. Okay, try to analyze his point, and through this you will definitely come to a solution. Next is can choose left out option for the second sentence. Most of the time it is correct. Yeah, in this point what we have to do is you have to choose the left out option of the second sentence. Next is analyze how the paragraph would be. So after following these steps, you will definitely get some of the sequences, right? Or some of the logical sequences. So whenever you get such logical sequences, just try to analyze how the paragraph would be. Okay? Then find the second statement. So after you have been able to identify the first statement, try to find out the second statement. Now how would you do that? Through option. Okay, so whenever you have started to make a frame, you will definitely get a statement which can fit in the second position, right? So that is through an option. Through options you can try to find out the second statement, or through logical understanding, or through conjugate sentences. Conjugate sentences, as I have told, it is sentences following one after the another. Through logical understanding means whenever you read the sentences, you'll find that there is a flow in logical sense. Okay, after this comes. So in such cases it becomes quite easy in understanding the second statement. Clear? After that, again try to analyze the paragraph, how it would be. So this is a very important point. After each and every step you must analyze the paragraph, whether you are going in the right way or not. Okay, whether it is forming a meaningful paragraph or not. Then find the third statement, again through option, through logical understanding, which comes first and which comes last through conjugate sentences. So after you have been able to select the first and the second statement, the third somewhat becomes easy for you to determine the third statement, right? Through option. You can select the options or strike out the options which is not fitting in the third position, or cannot be the third statement. Then after that, through logical understanding, which comes first and which comes last. So if you find out the first statement, until now we have also found out the second, and you try to find the last statement, then it becomes quite easy to understand which could be the third statement. Okay, this is what the logical understanding is explaining. And the last point is through conjugate sentences, that is one after the another. If you feel that this sentence is coming after this, then immediately frame it down. Okay, just prepare a frame of it. Next is this process keeps on continuing. So at each and every step you must try to analyze the paragraph by striking out options, and then you have to keep this process continuing. Okay. Now, if you are confused with these previous steps, there is also an alternate way to find out the sequence of the sentences. What is that? Find the fourth, fifth and sixth sentences at one go if possible. So as soon as you have read out all the sentences which is given in a jumbled manner, just try to find out from the last. Okay, fourth, fifth and sixth sentences. Suppose we have 6 sentences, just try to find out the last 3 sentences at one go. Then strike out options through options, strike out options through options, is you have to keep on striking the options and try to find out this 4th, 5th and 6th sentences at one go. Through conjugate statements, if we have a sequence following one after the another, or through logical understanding, which is the first and last statement. If you can correctly identify the first and the last statement, then one after the another, the sequence becomes very easy. Okay friends, now let's try to solve some of the jumbled paragraphs together. So in the first question we have, rearrange the following sentences in a proper sequence to form a meaningful paragraph and then mark the correct sequence as your answer. So here we have a sequence of sentences which is marked as A, B, C, D, E. So we have 5 sentences, and this is the first type of jumbled paragraph where all the statements are in a jumbled manner. Okay, so we have to arrange these sentences and try to form a meaningful paragraph. Let's check out. He felt, the first statement is, he felt justified in bypassing Congress altogether on a variety of moves. Now remember, while selecting the first sentence, never start with a sentence which is having a pronoun. He is a pronoun. So definitely this A cannot be the first statement, right? So let's check. Next one. At time he was fighting with the entire Congress. Who he? This cannot also be the first sentence. Bush felt that he had a mission to restore power to the presidency. Okay, this can be because here a person has been introduced. Next is, Bush was not fighting with just with the Democrats. This also cannot be the first statement because was not fighting. What he was, for why he was fighting, what was the cause, we don't know. So we cannot start with a statement like this. Okay. Moving on to the next one is, representative democracy is a messy business and the CEO of the White House does not like a legislature of second guessers and time wasters. Okay, this can definitely be the first statement because here we are introducing someone. Okay, introducing someone or telling about a particular thing can definitely be a first statement. So now we'll go for the options. Okay, in option A we have C as the first statement. Bush felt that he had a mission to restore power to the presidency. This cannot be the first statement, right? So this option is striked off. Okay, we can just simply strike off this and this because here also C is coming. Let's check for this and this option. That is, in this option we have D as the first statement. Bush was not fighting with just the Democrats. Was not fighting. As soon as we start a paragraph, we cannot introduce fighting and all. Okay, for what he was not fighting, we must know. So this option is also striked off. So we are left with only option D, and it starts with E. So representative democracy is a messy business and the CEO of the White House does not like a legislature of second guessers and time wasters. So the correct answer for this will be option D. As we have successfully found out the first statement which is not matching with the other options, definitely this will be the correct answer. Just let's try to follow this sequence. See, options helps us a lot in jumbled paragraph. Now as soon as I have found out the first statement, I have checked all the options. Only in one option I have found E as the first statement. Definitely I have marked that as the answer. Suppose if I would have another option having E as the first sentence, then I would have to check for that option also. But since we don't have any other options starting with E, I have marked option D as the correct answer. So let's try to read the paragraph once again. Starting with E, representative democracy is a messy business and the CEO of the White House does not like a legislature of second guessers and time wasters. Okay, next is C. Bush felt that he had a mission to restore power to the presidency. Okay, then Bush was not fighting with just the Democrats. Yes, then at time he was fighting with the entire Congress. Lastly, it will be he felt justified in bypassing Congress altogether on a variety of moves. So this is a meaningful paragraph formed in the sequence E, C, D, B, A. Okay. So now we move on to the second paragraph. Let's try to read it out. It also gives rise to a feeling. It. What it? Okay. So this cannot be the first statement, so strike it off. Next is B. In a democratic system, frequent use of power is never desirable, be it on the part of the government or the people. Okay, so this can be the first statement, but let's go through other options also. Therefore, citizens should never resort to violent ways. Therefore, a sentence starting with therefore cannot now be the first statement of a paragraph, right? We don't know what is the gist of the story or the passage, so we cannot just start a statement randomly with therefore. So this is also striked off. Then it destroys the stability and security in public life. It, what it is not defined, so D also cannot be the first statement. So the first statement will definitely be B. Let's now check out for the options where B is written first. So option A and D is directly striked off. We are left with two options, option B and option C, where the first statement is B. Okay, now from this options only we can try to find out the sequence. In this option it is B, D, that means after B, D should come, and in this also after B, D should come. So definitely statement number 2 will be B. So let's try to read it out and analyze the paragraph. In a democratic system, frequent use of power is never desirable, be it on the part of the government or the people. It destroys the stability and security and in public life. Yes, it is coming. Now, first and second statements we found out. First is B, second is D. Now, third and fourth. Okay, which will be the third statement and the fourth. Now, it also gives rise to a feeling of animosity among the different sections of the society. It is telling about this democratic system only, right? So definitely after D, A will come. So B is the first statement, D is the second, A is the third, and lastly it will be C. Therefore, all the points are combining and therefore it is coming to a solution, or you can say a conclusion. So definitely the correct option will be B, and the sequence is B, D, A, C. Okay friends, now let's move on and see the next type of jumble paragraph, where you will be given the first and the last statement in sequence and the sentences which are in between. You have to arrange them in a proper manner. So here we have got two questions where we will try to solve it together and understand the concept. So what is the question here? In the questions, each passage consists of 6 sentences. The first and the sixth sentence are given in the beginning. The middle 4 sentences in each have been removed and jumbled up. These are labeled as P, Q, R and S. You are required to find out the proper order of the 4 sentences. Okay, so the first sentence has been marked as sentence 1 or S1, and sentence 6 has been marked as S6, and the remaining 4 sentences are jumbled up. We have to arrange them in a proper sequence so that we form a meaningful paragraph. So let's try to solve these questions. Sentence 1 is saying, in 1945, America faced 2 powerful enemies in the World War. Okay, so let's try to read the jumble sentences and find out which can be the second one. America found conventional weapons insufficient to crush them. This cannot be the second statement, right? Because you see the word to crush them. In the first one, we just introduced the 2 powerful enemies, and in the second one directly to crush them. Who is this them, right? This them is not being clearly mentioned, so P cannot be the second statement. So let's go to the options and see whether we can eliminate any option or not. Definitely option B and option D can be directly striked off because P here is the first option, meaning the second sentence. But we have found out that P cannot be the second sentence. So option B and D has been striked off immediately. Let's see the next one, or you can check it from the options also. Option A and option C is having Q as the second sentence. So we know that as B and D has been striked off, so definitely out of A and C, one must be the correct option So as both are having Q as the second sentence, so Q will definitely be the second statement. But still, let us give it a read and understand the statement. These were Germany and Japan who posed strong opposition to America. Yes, this is the second statement because after the introduction of the two powerful enemies, they are being named in the second sentence. So now let's read the first and the second statement to analyze the paragraph. In 1945, America faced two powerful enemies in the World War. These were Germany and Japan who posed a strong opposition to America. Okay, so now the third sentence. Now we can again go for the options, right? In option A, Q, after that P is coming, and in option C, Q, P. So definitely what we understand that P will be our third statement. But still, let us read the sentences and try to analyze it. What is actually sentence P saying? America found conventional weapons insufficient to crush them. Yes, this is now coming in sequence because after you have introduced the enemies, you are telling about them, right? So let's read the sentences once again. In 1945, America faced two powerful enemies in the World War. These were Germany and Japan who posed strong opposition to America. America found conventional weapons insufficient to crush them. So till here we have found out sentence 1, 2 and 3. Now let's try to analyze the fourth and the fifth sentence. So option P and Q has already gone. So let's check out for option R. The result of this was the production of the atom bomb. And after that, the government ordered the scientists to conduct research and produce a new deadly weapon. Now you see in sentence R, it is talking about the atom bomb, and in sentence S, it is telling us about to introduce a new deadly weapon. So which will come first? Definitely S will come first. After you tell someone to introduce a deadly weapon, after that you have introduced the atom bomb. So sentence S will be the fourth statement, right? Let's read the paragraph once again. In 1945, America faced two powerful enemies in the World War. These were Germany and Japan who posed strong opposition to America. America found conventional weapons insufficient to crush them. The government ordered the scientists to conduct research and produce a new deadly weapon. The result of this was the production of the atom bomb. So this forms an entirely meaningful paragraph. So, as S is our sentence number 4 and R is the fifth sentence, which option will be correct? Yes, option number A will be correct. Now you see, options help us a lot. Now, at the beginning when we tried to analyze the paragraph, the options has helped out a lot and it has also saved us some time. So this method of framing sentences is very, very important. So this is the correct sequence Q, P, S, R, and the last statement is already arranged. That is, this was the weapon that ended the Second World War. So I hope this paragraph is clear to y'all and how we have arranged the sentences. Let's try to solve another paragraph so that we can become more clear about this concept. Sentence 1 here is, nowadays soap is going almost out of use as a washing agent. Okay, let's try to read the sentences in between. They produce lather due to the presence of calcium salts in water. They produce, who they? We have just told that soap is out of use. Directly we cannot say they produce lather due to the presence. Who they? We don't know. So definitely P cannot be the second statement. So let's check out whether we have any options starting with P. No. So we have to read the next sentence. That means, okay, Q is telling us that its place has been occupied by a new range of chemicals called detergent. Yes, this is the perfect sentence which will come second, because you see, after soap is going out, another one is taking its place, and that is detergents. So Q is the second statement. Let's check out the options if we can eliminate any options or not. Having Q, but remember Q is the second statement. So option A and option C is striked off. Okay, they can be cancelled out, And we can keep option B and D, where second statement is Q in both the options. Now let's try to analyze the options and find out the third statement. But before that, let's give a read to the first and the second statement. Okay? Nowadays, soap is going almost out of use as a washing agent. Its place has been occupied by a new range of chemicals called detergents. Now, in this option, after Q, S is being placed, and here after Q, P has been placed. So let's try to read S and P and see which sentence comes in the third place. Let's start with P. They produce lether due to the presence of calcium salts in water. This is going because this is the reason why soap is out and detergents are in. But still, let us give a read to sentence number S also. Detergents are not soap because they are not sodium or potassium derivatives of fatty acids as a normal soap is. So P is the most appropriate sentence, okay, which will come third, because this is the reason stating why soap is out and detergent is in. So after Q, P will come, okay, and not S. So as after Q, P is coming, this option is also striked off and we get the correct option to be D. But still, let us read the sentences in this manner and find out whether we are forming a meaningful paragraph or not. So after Q, P, then R is coming. So let's give it a read. Nowadays, soap is going almost out of use as a washing agent. Its place has been occupied by a new range of chemicals called detergents. They produce lether due to the presence of calcium salts in water. So they are called soapless soaps. Yes, this is going. And last sentence is, detergents are not soap because they are not sodium or potassium derivatives of fatty acids as a normal soap is. So this is the correct sequence in which we are getting a meaningful paragraph. And the last statement, which is already arranged, is they are better washing agents than soap, but scientists are not yet sure if their use is harmless to man. So with this we get the correct sequence, and which is option D, Q, P, R and S. So this was all about the topic on jumbled paragraph. I hope it was useful to you all. But there is also an exercise section which will help you out to enhance your knowledge more on the topic, and a score meter is also provided which will help you to check your scores. Friends, before winding up, I'd like to request you all to like our videos and subscribe our channel. So with this, I wind up today's session. Till then, take care and goodbye.